Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my little workshop here. So what I've got on the bench today is a Miller High Life neon beer sign that I picked up. If you regularly watch my channel, you may have seen this in a recent flea market pick video where I scored this thing for 20 bucks, and I scored it for 20 bucks because he wanted 40, but I said, you know if it works? He says, I don't know. And there was a garage there on this field where they were having the sale, and there were outdoor outlets there. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, let me go plug it in and see whether or not it works. And he said, yeah, sure. So I walked over, plugged it in, pulled the pull cord switch, nothing. No hum, no light, no nothing. Went back over to him and said, yeah, it's not working. And he says, well, would you still be interested in it? I said, I'd take a chance on it for 20. And he said, sure. So I got it for 20 bucks. Initially, I felt pretty good about it. How on God's green earth I did not see this complete break right here in the neon tube beats me. So right there, we've got a nasty break. So there's no way this thing's going to light. But here's the interesting part. At least it's interesting to me. So at that point, I see the broken tube and I'm like, well, okay, unless this is a really rare sign, it's not going to be worth having it repaired. I could have a company actually repair this. They would actually cut off these broken ends and they would splice in a new piece of tube, and they would end up actually putting the inert neon gas back in there, and we might actually have something. Now, that being said, I'm thinking it's quite possible that we should have two different colors going on here. In other words, this part right here might be one color and this part might be another color. It's possible that we're dealing with two distinct tubes, trying to follow the flow of power. The cable that comes out here goes into the end of the tube here. This tube draws all of these letters, comes through, goes through this device, which I'm not a neon sign guy, so I don't know what this thing is, but it's a clear tube, into this second tube, okay, and then into these lights, into this tube, out the end, and back to the transformer. So, okay, so maybe we are dealing with two separate sealed units here, which if that's the case, theoretically, if this transformer were working, I should be able to take this lead off of this end, reattach it to this end, and light just the part that says Miller, because the Miller tube does not look like it's broken. But what I noticed when I plugged it in out there on the field is there was no hum or anything, sizzle, crackle, nothing coming out of the transformer. So I suspected there was something already wrong there. If we get a bad transformer and a bad broken, tube, then boy, this is just dumpster fodder. On the other hand, even if I can't get these to light, but I can get the transformer to work, the transformer actually has a little bit of value to it. I could get somewhere between $30 and $50 for the used good working transformer online from what I could see on eBay. This transformer is a Franceformer. So a little play on words there with the word France in it. And it's a 5,000 volt, I believe, transformer. So it's not a really large one. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to open this up and see whether or not I can determine, without electrocuting myself with 6,000 volts, to see whether or not I can get anything happening out of this transformer, or whether or not this thing is indeed junk. Very interesting. Down here on the bench, when I plug it in, there is a definite, distinct initial hum followed by a slight buzz. I think this transformer is live. I think it was just so quiet. I think it was just the background noise there in the field made it so I couldn't hear it. So I think we might have power coming out of this thing. So we better be careful. Alright, so I carefully slid this rubber boot right here off of the end of the tube that's broken over here, and I can see where the connection is made between the high voltage transformer leads. Now, I could just cut these, but I want to try and preserve the lead length if I can. So this is just like a little they stick on here and they crimp. So I'm wondering if I crush it in the opposite direction, it might open up enough to let me slide that wire out. Probably like a one-shot deal where, you know, you get basically crimp them and then they're just not going to open up again. That ain't working. I'm guessing by design during manufacture they leave these leads right here extra long just for this reason, that you might end up having to change out the transformer. So I'm going to just cut this. Actually, I could leave that on there because it's not going to be used anytime soon. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to see if I can figure a way to make a connection to the other end of the tube that spells Miller. So the two tubes are interconnected through this deal here, which that's glass. So how do you get that out of its own way? Oh, okay. Maybe if I slide this over here and now slide this to, there we go. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Oh, these aren't even crimped together. They're just kind of wound around each other. Oh, I like that. That'll make that easy. Oh, I see. It's 2 wires and 2 wires. Okay. So this glass tube that I just slid over, I'm guessing that that's just an insulator. That's just to protect anyone from having an arc jump off of these wires, these bare wires, to the frame here or to an unsuspecting finger. Even with my glasses on, I'm having trouble seeing these damn wires. They're fine. Solid copper. The good stuff. Okay. That takes care of that. So now, will that high voltage lead reach over to here? Not really. Yeah, it's going to be sketchy. Let's push these back through this way, backwards. This is going to be exciting. Well, at least for me it will be. Get this durable lead paint off of the bench. All right. Trying to twist these two wires together and bend them somewhat out of the way. And I'm going to have to strip this back, give me a little bit more. Let's see. I'm feeling lazy. I don't feel like walking over there and getting the strippers. I'll just mess this up this way. That is some good quality rubber insulation on this thing. Just nipping at the outer wall of the insulation going around. There we go. That's what I wanted. Now hopefully I won't end up drawing an arc from here down to this frame. All right. Plugged in. Cool. Well, there you go. So I know I've got a good transformer. So the only decision I have to make now is, do I want to actually pay to have this neon tube repaired and have a restored sign? Or should I just, plan on junking the neon tubes, the broken one and even the good one in the frame, and just list the transformer by itself on eBay? I'd be interested to know, what do you guys think? Go ahead and put in the comments. You think it's worth saving? I think I wasn't able to find this exact sign on eBay, but I think I was able to find some similar ones. I mean, who knows how many different versions of neon signs there were for Miller High Life over the years, you know? So it makes it a little bit tough to search. The majority of the ones that you tend to see are that style there. Oh, so I was mistaken. This is a 6,000 volt secondary. One sold on eBay, but unfortunately that was a 15,000 volt secondary, so that was a larger one. Here's one that was a 5,000 volt secondary that sold for $52 pre-owned. That looks very similar to what I have here. Actually, that might be even earlier. That's got the leads coming out of the sides, and the case looks a little different. There's the one I saw. So that one right there sold for $50, and that's a 6030 W27 6,000 volt secondary. Mine is a 6030 W2. So I don't know if that makes a difference or not. Alright guys, I think we're going to call this video a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing because you never know what I'm going to get into next. Take care.